Hi everyone, it's Asia Marquet here, Lemon Creation, with another watercolor project and another watercolor technique. Today I'm gonna be talking a little bit, even though I know that you like to have a calming music in the background, but it's just to tell you a few things which I think are important to this project. I learned this technique actually yesterday. I've seen it in a few places like Pinterest, Instagram. I've seen artists doing it, and I never actually had the time to watch any tutorial. This time I'm not giving credits to anybody because I am learning as I'm doing this video, and I am doing it all by myself. I've seen the effects, but I've never done it, and so I didn't know how to do it. I prepared few pieces of paper. This is watercolor paper. I'm gonna give you this in the description link below, or list below, all the links and all the products used in this video. Those are my homemade kind of earthy tone watercolors. And so I am doing few samples. And for this one, I added a little bit of water, then I'm adding a little bit of color very randomly, but I try to kind of keep the, like, kind of an oval shape on the paper, but nothing really extravagant, nothing really complicated, just a simple thing. And that's all what I'm doing here. And then I'm gonna leave it to dry a tiny bit, because I think for this technique, the drier, the better. So I have this bubble thing. I have no idea how is it called? I think bubble. And so this is this is the toy from my children. I put it in the bowl. Later on, I found out that you actually can use also, but I knew that actually you can use the dishwasher soap or just normal soap, I think. And just you need to make a bowl, bubbles, sorry. I'm gonna be mixing up words, I think, in this video. And you need to use a normal straw to just blow into the water with bubbles and just place it on the paper. On this paper, I'm not adding color first. I'm just placing the balls. And it's quite hard to make them big on the paper. They are actually breaking. I heard that you should add some glycerin so they are more, or even baking soda so they are more tough, but I haven't done that yet. So I actually Google the process of making them after I made a video. But this is the most amazing part. You just dip the pencil or the brush in water and add a little bit of paint, and look at that, guys. This was when I took the photo, I thought I'm gonna just go crazy. I love it so absolutely much. It's so relaxing to make that, and you never know what kind of effects you're gonna get because I made few pages, so every page is completely different. And the thing is that you have to look at that. You have to add quite a lot of paint, like watery paint on the brush. And I came back to the first page I've done. The base paint was still not completely dry. And I added the bubbles, and you're gonna see that it was a mistake. And here I'm trying to pick up the bubbles with the paper, straight with the paper, but it's also... it's good and bad because you kind of put them on the edge of the paper. If you want to have them on the edge of the paper, that's not a problem. But if you would like to have them somewhere in the middle, so they don't touch the edges of the paper, then you have to do it with some other tool, like a palette knife or a piece of paper, wherever. Look at that, guys. This is amazing. I'm thinking, how can I turn that into stamps? So as I mentioned to you, I actually learn as I go in this video because simply I really had no time. I knew that I should make a video for Sunday, but it was Saturday kind of evening already, so yesterday, and I had nothing prepared, and I thought about this, And it's just when I think about something, I have to make this project, and I had really no time to Google it or actually watch any tutorials. So I'm gonna, I think, in the future watch tutorials quietly and maybe learn something, some other tricks, and maybe come up with something better. But I have to tell you guys, some of those pages I made today, they turned out beautifully, really, really beautifully. So I'm gonna leave you, I think, for now. I don't think it's very complicated, the process. I think it's pretty straightforward, but you know, you can always ask me in the comment if there is something you do not understand. I just wanted to come back to this one. That actually didn't work very well. And look, the bubbles are sliding, and I think that's because the paper was wet. The paint I put on the paper, it was wet. And with this one, I did a little bit differently. I dried completely the paper underneath, the paint underneath, but I didn't add too much of the bubbles. And so, you know, it's really like a little bit of practice. I think it takes a little bit of practice to get it really right. I am not leaving you with music today for a long time. But this is something else I thought I can do because I have this watercolor Dr. P.H. Martin watercolors, liquid watercolors. I decided to add them straight to the bowl when I was actually about to quit and call it a day and just continue with the doodling on the pages. I said, okay, I have the rest of the water, I'm gonna try like that. And so, yes, I added the colors, I added a little bit more, and you can add also the colors from your solid watercolors. They don't have to be, as you see here, liquid ones, because I've added to liquid ones a little bit of solid, because I wanted the color, you know, I wanted the bubbles to have a really, really nice color, and they were coming up all like, you know, completely transparent. But finally I managed to get this beautiful texture, beautiful colors. I kind of wish that I could have a bath color like that, which doesn't leave a color later on my body, but it looks so, so cool. I really loved it. I don't know what's happened here though. I think I wet this paper way too much by dipping it straight into the mixture of bubbles, and you're gonna see at the end this really didn't work well, and I finished by throwing it to the bin. So that happens also. And here we go. Once again, I'm putting the color ones on the plain paper, hoping that this time maybe I'll get the big bubbles. If somebody has any idea any trick on how to transfer the big bubbles onto the page, please let me know, because I tried so many times, and when I'm touching the page, either they don't want to stay on don't want to go down on the page itself, or they are just changing into tiny, tiny, tiny bubbles. So I left it dry. This one is really a mistake. I don't know, it didn't even want it to dry. And before I actually left it to dry, I add a little bit of bubbles, and I kind of blow on the paper, and I got these big bubbles, but I blow too much on the paper and the bubbles disappear at the end. So I don't know what would have happened if I left one or two of big bubbles on the paper. But then again, I'm working with the doors wide open. There was a small wind yesterday because we have like over 30 degrees Celsius. So it's very warm. So I guess they would, disappear the bubbles anyway. So as you've seen, this paper didn't give me anything. This one is a different story. Okay, the colors maybe don't go well together, but there are bubbles. And of course, me being impatient as I am, I had to just finish. Guys, there is no more bubbles, you know. So I'm finishing to dry it with the heat gun. But of course, when the bubbles are here, I couldn't touch it. This one, you can see delicate texture in it. But as I said, I didn't add too much bubbles to it. Here, that's the last page I've done. Quite a lot of bubbles. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. This one is just beautiful. And only now, after making this video, I see a shape in it, and I am so sorry I didn't see that before I actually finished this page, because this page I'm gonna work on it, I'm gonna add some doodles, and this one is just amazing also. I don't know, I had some transfer of blue color on it, and instead of disappearing it actually make bigger stains, so I'm not very happy with that. And there is also this thing that if you have a lot of bubbles, then there is this kind of I think soap which actually dries and stays on the page, which is kind of, you have to remove it. And here we go, all of my pages. I have my favorites, and those are the two I've made afterwards with the leftovers, but I kind of forgot to put the camera on. This one was made the same technique as this one, so I just add the to the dry page I added the bubbles, and then I added the paint. So here are my two favorite ones, definitely, although I love the blue ones also. And so I said to myself, I cannot leave it like that. And I started to draw on the page. I didn't want it to waste it, so I started with the pencil, because I didn't want to make a line which I will regret later on. Afterwards, I am still happy with how it turned out, but I don't know, guys, what you see in it. I actually see a fish. You know, I don't know how it's called, this fish which has a big tail, a beautiful tail. I don't know the name. I don't know if it's not called a golden fish, but I kind of, where the bubbles are, I see her main body, and the rest is just, you know, the tail and the things on the side, which I don't remember the name for also. So I added a little bit of golden accents, and that's it. And so now I'm gonna really leave you quiet with the music, because all I'm gonna do is doodling, and I sped up the process very much, so you can actually enjoy, but there is no point for you to just spend too much time on watching me drawing. I am definitely in a very watery environment in this video. I hope you can see I made ray out of the second page. Not my finest moment. I think it didn't work that well. You know, sometimes I wish to leave the pages as they are, just like that. But I think, I don't know, I think it's better maybe to add something. And very often I'm actually wasting very good background. It happens, but that's also the thing, you know, that you experimenting and things go like it goes. And for the last page, I wanted to show you different ways of, you know, drawing. The first was abstract, the second was actual drawing of a ray, even though it's I don't know if you can really see it. And for the third one, I decided to add a little bit of oxides, simply because I don't have any other permanent kind of brown ink. And one of my stamps, I wasn't sure which one I'm gonna choose. Finally, I chose the stamp from In the Background collection, and I add a little bit. First time, you know, I stamp on the piece of paper because I didn't want the stamp to be very, very bright and very strong. And I decided to add beautiful branches from a Rubber Dance stamp. I really absolutely love these branches. It's been a long time since I didn't work with them, but this one didn't work. The small one, it was too much. So sometimes you just get this thing, you know, you continue and you go too far. And I went too far with the last branch because it stamped not very well. So I decided to cover it. I worked on it for quite a long time before I managed to kind of cover it. I even removed a part of it with the eraser. This one is super, this eraser, it really removes a lot of inks, and added a little bit of, you know, of more branches and flowers with a craft knife. I don't know, I think no, or palette knife, I think, and with the distress ink. And then I decided to come back to my to my beautiful array and add a little bit of colors in the bubbles I made on the side. I'm really not sure. I really don't like this page, I think. It's, I don't know, it's something doesn't speak to me in it. But I know that you guys, you quite often like the projects. I am not a big fan of. Everybody has a different taste, so I decided to go for it. And anyway, I made it, so I'm showing you. So like that, you know that there are some things, some projects which I'm really not very happy with. So I add a little bit of acrylic markers, blue and silver, and this is my ray, and it swims. So that would be all for today. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm telling you honestly, I really was not inspired by anybody in particular, not like in the last video when I was inspired by Dennis Love. But I'm gonna try to work on that because I really love the technique, and you know, the things which are happening are magical. So as I said, I hope you enjoyed it still. And please subscribe, please check out my shop. I'm gonna give you a link to all the products and all the shops in the description box below. And I really hope I'm gonna see you soon in my next video. And meanwhile, big hugs and lots of kisses. Bye bye.